What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. You learn lessons from love. Shout out to Eric Roberson. That's who was in the thumbnail. He has this song called Lessons. Dope song. I'm a big fan of people like Eric Roberson, Raheem Devon, stuff like that. Big Crit, J Electronica, that's how I get down. But he was basically saying how all the relationships in his past that were bad were a reason, the lessons he learned from those bad relationships became the reason where he was able to find and treat the person that he was currently with, or the love of his life, with appreciation. And one of the things that comes along, even in this space, from the men and the women, is people are acting as though you've never learned from these bad lessons. And if you learn from these lessons, maybe you don't meet your love of your life or your husband or your wife immediately. But if you learn from those lessons and you take a different approach, you begin to build the type of relationship you could actually thrive in, because you understand this works for me, this doesn't. This works for me, this doesn't. This type of person works for me, this type of person doesn't. This amount of affection works for me, this amount doesn't. This type of coping mechanism works for me, this one doesn't. And what I find interesting is that what some of us are running into a wall all the time, or repeatedly. You're running into a wall because you're fighting the lesson. You're basically knowing this doesn't work for me. And you meet another person and they teach you the same lesson, and you keep blaming it on the people. But if you would learn that lesson, even if you and that other person grow apart, part ways, break up, and you apply that lesson into your life, the next person you meet, you go, okay, I got this down, I got that down. All right, I got this down, I got that down, I got that down. And these relationships start becoming healthier. But these relationships maintain, people keep talking about things being toxic because guess what? You never actually, in practical application, applied those lessons. Like, you're supposed to be nice to the person that you're with, and they're going to be nice to you. But if you're not nice to the person leaves. So you're going to meet a new person and not be nice to them. So when they leave, it's because people abandon you. No, it's because you haven't grasped that you should be nice to the person that you say you care about. You meet a person and you're entitled. They should do this, and this for you. And this person has an issue because they're like, I'm not doing all that with you. And you and this person part ways because guess what? Your entitlement. Because you keep acting like they owe you something and they don't. So now you put off your entitlement on another person, and this other person owes you because that person prior to them owed you, and that person prior to them owed you, and that person prior to them owed you. But when you ask the question, what did you do for these people? Your level of what you're entitled to is up here. Your level of what you did for these people is down here. You never learned a lesson. You don't have to give. You hadn't learned a lesson that sex doesn't fix the problem. So now you're having sex to escape the problem. So since you never fixed these problems and you just had sex, now the sex becomes angry sex. The sex becomes bitter sex. The sex becomes, at some point, sex you resent. Like, why am I doing this? After it's over. You never learn a lesson to fix your problems before you have sex. So if you fix things like that, and you fix your entitlement, you get what I'm saying? And you fix being nice to people, and you fixing the problems in your relationships before having sex, you're going to wind up with a better relationship because you learned love that taught you that lesson. And now all of a sudden, your relationships don't have these issues that they once had. But instead, you want to be 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Still making the same mistakes you made 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And not learning from the lessons from your past love life as if a new person is going to change that whole history of you is insane. So, I'm done. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.